It's so true, and prescription drug prices are also down. Let's widen out the conversation. Also joining us, host of The Wise Guys, who you see here on Newsmax every week, John Tabacco. John, we talked about the tariffs and the trade deal, so a lot of that's happening behind the scenes. Countries have come forward. They said, we want to make a deal, and Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, was at the podium earlier today talking about the tariff revenue. President Trump says, wait, it's going to be a bonanza, and this was the word from the White House as we mark 100 days.
What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief. And I think there's a very good chance that we will see this in the upcoming tax bill.
I mean, we think about this. I mean, in a country like Hungary, women with no children are paying no income tax. I mean, the idea of having Americans get real benefit when it comes to taxes after we just passed, April 15th, why isn't there more, encouraging news when you look at legacy media? Well, John, I think we know why, and that's because, oddly, they're rooting against President Trump and the American workers.
Yeah, well, look, when you have a 99.99% reduction at the border and you have all the lamestream media talking negatively about you 92, 95% of the time, you're doing something right. And on the economic front, I thought today, when you saw Secretary Bessent out there, the market looks forward. Mitch knows that. I know that. The market doesn't really look backwards. You're forgiven for yesterday's missed extra point. But what's going to happen down the line? And Scott Bessent said it clear. I think we're going to have a deal with India soon. I think we're going to have a deal with Japan. I think we're going to have a deal with Vietnam, South Korea. And those deals will be like template deals that are replicable. And yeah. I think, to me, that it was the hidden nugget in his messaging today, that get ready. And then Trump, yesterday, the Office of Communications.
Let me pick up on.
Go ahead, Bianca.
Let me pick up on what you just said, because because it's important. Let me pick up on that. Bessent also said China may lose 10 million jobs from tariffs. They need access to our markets, that it's up to China to de-escalate. I mean, this is also about decoupling. This is about being independent, not relying on China for certain things. But I thought that was great. I wanted to pick up because India is such a huge landmass, and you have a country like Vietnam also talking to the United States. And Mitch, that could take a big market share out of China as well. I'm not sure what your thought is on where the China tariff conversation goes now.
Well, look, our GDP is close to $30 trillion a year, and China's GDP is almost half of that. So, and they're an export-driven economy, if you believe their numbers. But a lot of their numbers are fudged numbers. They're about as real as their $25 Rolexes. They need to export to feed over 1 billion people in that country. So it's going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt us. They need to export their goods. They need to make a deal with us. So India, on the other hand, is making a deal. They've got a gigantic economy. I think that it's I've done business in both countries. I think India is a much more business friendly country to do business in.
And the relationship with Modi and President Trump is pretty good as well. And so, I mean, also a lot of this is relations. And I want to play a little bit more this morning and get your reaction. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick. We have a little clip here because he's talking about auto tariffs, which is another big part of American workers as well, as President Trump will be in Michigan later today for a rally.